Alien Hive Queen chose me to breed a new race. Now I'm falling for her. Alex had always thought of himself as just another soldier, trained to follow orders and survive the chaos of space warfare. He had seen countless battles across the galaxy, from asteroid skirmishes to full-scale planetary invasions. But nothing could have prepared him for what was about to happen. He was standing on the bridge of the human reconnaissance ship, the Horizon, when the sensors picked up an unknown object approaching at impossible speed. The captain ordered evasive maneuvers, but it was already too late. A massive energy pulse engulfed the ship, and the world turned into white light. When Alex opened his eyes again, he found himself lying on a strange, soft surface. The air smelled different, sweet, metallic, alive. It wasn't the sterile, metallic smell of human ships. It was breathing. Somewhere above him, he heard a low, humming sound, almost like 1,000 voices, all speaking at once but in perfect harmony. "Where am I?" he whispered, sitting up slowly. The room, or whatever it was enormous. Walls pulsated with soft, bioluminescent light, like veins glowing inside a living creature. Towers of organic structures rose around him, twisting like coral but moving subtly, as if the entire place was breathing. He realized with a start that he was no longer on a ship. He was inside a living organism, something enormous, something alien. A figure approached. Alex froze. It was tall, far taller than any human, its body slender but powerful, glowing faintly under the soft light. Its head was elongated with sharp, beautiful features, and its eyes glowed like amber. Alex instinctively felt that he wasn't looking at just an alien. He was looking at a queen. "I am the Hive Queen," the figure said, her voice inside his mind rather than his ears. Alex flinched. "You have been chosen." "Chosen for what?" Alex stammered, trying to stand, but realizing his muscles were stiff, tense with fear. "To help create a new race," the queen replied calmly. "One that carries the strengths of your kind and mine. You are the first human I have ever chosen." Alex's mind spun. Humans had interacted with alien civilizations before, yes, but never like this. He had been a soldier, not a diplomat. He had trained to fight, not to breed with an alien queen. I don't understand," he whispered. "Why me?" The queen stepped closer. Her movement was mesmerizing, like she floated rather than walked. "Because you are adaptable, you have courage, and you are human. Your kind has qualities my hive has never known. We need them to survive the next stage of our evolution." Alex swallowed hard. The words made sense in some strange way, but understanding didn't stop the fear curling in his chest. "I can't. I'm a soldier. I don't know how to." "You will learn," the queen interrupted gently. "Fear is natural, doubt is natural, but you must trust me." Her voice, or her mind, pushed a wave of calm into him. He felt the tension in his muscles ease slightly. His heart was still racing, but the panic began to fade. The queen extended a long, glowing appendage toward him. "Come with me, there is much you must see." Alex hesitated, then stood. He had no other choice. The room, or the hive itself, was alive, moving around him, almost recognizing him as something new. He felt small, but aware that whatever happened next would change his life forever. The queen led him through corridors that seemed impossible. Organic walls shifted as they walked, folding and opening as if making a path just for them. Everywhere Alex looked, alien creatures scuttled or flew, observing him silently. None approached, none spoke. They simply watched. Finally, they reached a chamber larger than anything Alex had ever imagined. It was a central hub of the hive with hundreds of glowing nodes connected by pulsating tendrils. At the center, the queen stopped. "This is the heart of the hive," she explained. "It feels everything, it knows everything, and soon it will know you." Alex felt dizzy. The energy in the room hummed against his skin, deep inside his chest, as if the hive was probing him, learning him without words. He felt exposed and terrified, but also strangely alive. "You will help me create a new race," the queen continued. "But first you must understand us, you must understand me. Our lives, our knowledge, our strengths, they are not just mine, they belong to the hive, and now a part of them will belong to you." Alex's throat went dry. I don't know if I can." "You can," she said. "Because you are human. Humans survive when others would give up. Humans feel, humans fight, humans hope. Your kind is what my hive needs." The queen leaned closer, and Alex felt a strange sensation wash over him, like her mind brushing against his. It was not invasive or violent, only gentle, curious, and intelligent. He had never felt anything like it before. His thoughts seemed clearer, sharper, and at the same time connected to her. You will learn to trust me, she said softly, because without trust nothing can grow. Not a race, not a bond, not love. Alex swallowed again. The word love made his chest tight. He didn't know if he was ready for this. He didn't know if anyone could be ready for this. But deep inside, he felt a strange pull, a fascination he could not deny. For hours, or maybe days, he couldn't tell, the queen guided him through the hive. She showed him the young, the workers, the soldiers, all moving with perfect coordination. Alex watched as they communicated not with words, but with pulses of light and vibration. He marveled at their efficiency and their unity, but also at their beauty. There was intelligence here, yes, but also art in the patterns of their movements and the glow of their bodies. You see, Alex, the queen said, my hive is strong but limited. We lack creativity. We lack individual courage. We lack unpredictability. You bring that, your kind brings that, and together we can create something new. Alex tried to nod, but his mind was overwhelmed. He had spent his life following orders, surviving battles, never imagining that his choices, or even his very being, could become the seed of a new species. Later, the queen took him to a private chamber. It was smaller, intimate by hive standards, with soft, glowing walls and a gentle, pulsing light. Rest, she instructed. You will need your strength. Tomorrow your lessons begin. Alex lay down, but sleep did not come easily. He stared at the ceiling, thinking of Earth, of his crew, of the battles he had fought. And then he thought of the queen, not with fear this time, but with curiosity. Something about her presence unsettled him and fascinated him all at once. Was it her power, her beauty? The strange connection he felt inside his mind. He did not know, but he felt something new, something dangerous and thrilling. By the time he finally drifted off, Alex had made a silent promise to himself. He would survive this. He would understand the queen. He would learn the hive. And maybe, just maybe, he would discover what this connection truly meant. Morning, or what passed for morning in the hive, came with a gentle vibration that coursed through the walls and floors. Alex woke to find the queen standing over him, glowing faintly, her eyes warm and focused. It is time, she said. Your first lesson begins now. Alex nodded, trying to steady his racing heart. He did not know what this lesson would bring, whether it would be knowledge, danger, or something else entirely. But he knew one thing, his life had changed forever. The hive queen had chosen him, and whether he was ready or not, he would never be the same again. As they moved through the hive together, Alex could not shake the feeling that he was no longer just a human soldier. He was something new, something important, something that might one day shape the future of two species. And somewhere deep in his chest, he realized that he was already drawn to her. The hive queen, the ruler of millions, the being who had taken him from his world and placed him at the center of a destiny he could never have imagined. Alex did not understand it yet. But he would. The hive queen moved through the corridors of the Zithurian hive with grace, her bioluminescent glow painting the walls in soft, shifting colors. Alex followed, still trying to adjust to the strange rhythm of this living city. Every step felt like walking inside a giant organism, alive and aware, each pulse and vibration resonating through his body. You will learn, the queen said, her voice echoing in his mind again. You must understand the hive to survive in it. Alex nodded, swallowing his fear. But in truth, he didn't know how to understand an entire alien species, let alone one that communicated in ways beyond words. Even as a soldier, he was used to clear commands, clear orders. This was different. The queen led him to a chamber filled with glowing orbs suspended in midair. They pulsed softly, casting light on walls covered with organic patterns that seemed to writhe and change as he watched. These are the memory nodes, the queen explained. They contain the history of my hive. You will see our past, understand our victories and mistakes, and learn why we need you. Alex approached one of the orbs cautiously. As soon as he touched it, visions flooded his mind. He saw vast wars across alien worlds, battles where entire civilizations were consumed, and the hives rise from a small, hidden species to one of great power. He felt the emotions of the Zithurians, fear, pride, grief, and unity. It is incredible, Alex whispered, staggering back slightly. I can feel everything. It's like I'm living your history. Yes, the queen said softly. My hive remembers all, but humans you do not. You live in the present, you adapt, you create. That is why I chose you. Alex shook his head in disbelief. I'm just a soldier. I don't know if I can teach you or help your hive. The queen stepped closer. You do not need to teach me what you cannot. You need only show your kind of courage, your kind of thinking. That is enough. For the first time, Alex noticed something in the Queen's eyes. Behind the stoic power and alien majesty, there was curiosity, genuine curiosity about him, about his kind. It was unnerving, and yet it fascinated him. Over the next hours, Alex began the first of his lessons in the Hive. The Queen introduced him to the workers, smaller alien beings that moved like living machinery. They built, repaired, and tended to the Hive, all in perfect synchronization. At first, Alex felt a pang of superiority. After all, humans had never seen anything like this. But he quickly realized how wrong he was. The workers' intelligence was subtle but immense. Every motion had a purpose, every pulse a meaning. You see, the Queen said, strength is not always physical. Intelligence can be woven into life itself. My Hive is strong but not creative, not unpredictable. That is where you differ. Alex watched the workers for a long time. He began noticing small details, how a single worker adjusted its movement when a new problem arose, how they communicated silently, almost invisibly. He realized that humans relied on speech and technology, but the Hive relied on instinct, memory, and subtle signals. You are different, he said finally, but I think I can understand some of it. The Queen's glow shifted, almost like a smile. Good, that is the first step. Understanding precedes trust, and trust is necessary for what comes next. Days passed, or what Alex assumed were days in the Hive's time. He learned the rhythms of the Hive, how it sensed threats, how it grew, and how it communicated. In turn, he began teaching the Queen about humans. At first, it was simple things, how humans eat, sleep, and express emotions. But gradually, he showed her deeper concepts: humor, art, curiosity, and even fear. One afternoon, he brought out a small, worn sketchbook he had carried from Earth. Inside were drawings he had made as a child, trees, landscapes, imaginary creatures. He hesitated but held it out to her. The Queen reached toward it with a glowing appendage. As she touched the pages, her mind reached into his, feeling the emotions behind each stroke. Alex flinched, but she did not push. Instead, she absorbed the joy, the imagination, and even the frustration he had poured into the drawings. I don't understand this, she admitted finally, her voice softer than usual. Why do humans do this, draw, create, for no purpose? Because it matters to us, Alex said. It makes us feel alive, it connects us. It's not about survival, it's about living. The Queen paused, considering. Interesting, perhaps that is the unpredictability I have been seeking. Your kind creates meaning where there is none. You see beauty in chaos, that is valuable. Alex felt a small thrill. He had expected her to dismiss it as unimportant, but instead she was learning. Not just learning, but appreciating. As they spent more time together, Alex noticed changes in himself as well. The Queen's presence was not merely commanding, it was calming. Her touch, the mental waves she sent, made him feel strangely connected. He found himself sharing things he would never have told another human, thoughts, memories, even doubts. Do all humans feel this way? The Queen asked one day as they walked along a glowing corridor. Some do, Alex admitted, but most we hide it. We think feelings make us weak. They do not, she said, her voice firm. I see your strength, Alex, I see courage. And I see compassion. That is not weakness, it is evolution. Alex swallowed, unsure how to respond. Her words were foreign yet familiar, like they had bypassed his mind and touched his heart directly. Later, he helped her with a Hive experiment. The Queen wanted to understand human biology in preparation for the hybrid project. Alex explained the basics of human genetics, reproduction, and adaptation. She listened intently, absorbing everything with fascination. You are remarkable, she said finally. Your species survives impossible odds. You fight, you adapt, you innovate. You are stronger than you realize. Alex felt a flush of pride. For the first time since his capture, he felt respected, not just as a human soldier, but as an individual. And your Hive is incredible, he said. I've never seen anything like this. You're alive in ways we never imagined. The Queen tilted her head. Perhaps that is why we are here together. We complement each other. Humans bring unpredictability and creativity. The Hive brings unity and resilience. Together, we may create something truly new. As the days continued, the lessons became more personal. The Queen began to show Alex visions of her own past, not just the Hive's history. He saw her as a young larval queen, learning to control the Hive, to lead, to survive. He saw the loneliness that came with power, the burden of being responsible for millions of lives. "I never asked for this," she admitted one night as they rested in a quiet chamber. "I was born to lead, but I have never known companionship, not really, until you." Alex felt his chest tight. "Me, but I'm just a human. You're a queen, a ruler of millions." "You are human," she said softly, almost shyly. "And humans, they feel, they care. They act unpredictably. That is something my hive cannot replicate. That is why I chose you." Alex's heart pounded. He didn't know how to respond. Part of him wanted to laugh at the absurdity, him, a human chosen by a hive queen. Another part of him felt honored, awed, drawn to her in ways he could not explain. "You are different," the queen said, her voice almost hesitant. "I do not understand all your feelings, but I wish to learn about you, about humans, about us." The admission hung in the air. Alex felt warmth in his chest, a connection that went beyond words. He had faced death, war, and countless dangers, but nothing had ever made him feel as exposed and alive as this moment. In the following days, they continued their lessons, each learning from the other. Alex taught her human concepts like friendship, trust, and humor. She taught him the hive's ways, its patterns, and its unique forms of intelligence. He began to see her not just as a powerful alien queen, but as a being of depth and complexity. She had fears, curiosity, and a desire to understand him that was almost human. One evening, as they walked through the glowing corridors, Alex noticed a small worker struggling with a task. He instinctively stepped forward to help, guiding the creature gently. The queen watched silently, her glow softening. "You have courage and compassion," she said. "That is rare in any species. That is why you were chosen." Alex looked at her, the words settling deep inside him. Chosen not for strength alone, but for heart. He felt a surge of pride, of purpose, and something else he did not name, a growing admiration, perhaps even the beginnings of affection. As he lay down that night, he thought about the hive, the queen, and the strange bond forming between them. He realized that he was no longer just a human soldier. He was part of something bigger, something new. And somewhere deep inside, he understood the truth. This was only the beginning. The hive queen had chosen him. And slowly, he was beginning to choose her back. Alex had spent weeks in the hive, learning, observing, and slowly understanding the rhythms of the Zethurian civilization. What had first seemed impossible, their silent communication, their endless efficiency, their strange and glowing corridors, was beginning to make sense to him. The hive was alive in ways that no human city could ever be, and now he was a part of it. But understanding was only the beginning. The hive queen had begun to trust him, and with trust came responsibility. "You have learned much," the queen said one morning as they walked through a chamber filled with bioluminescent fungi that pulsed with the hive's heartbeat. "But now comes the next stage." Alex followed silently, his mind racing with questions. "The next stage?" he asked. "Yes," she replied. "The hybrid project begins today. You will help me understand human biology in a way that can be combined with the hive's genetics." "It is delicate work, Alex. It will require patience, courage, and honesty." Alex swallowed. I understand. I'll do whatever I can." The queen's appendage brushed lightly against his arm, a gesture almost like reassurance. "I know you will. That is why you were chosen." They entered a chamber that seemed even larger than the one they had first arrived in. Pools of glowing liquids stretched across the floor, connected by tendrils of organic matter. The air vibrated with the hum of the hive's energy, and Alex felt it pressing against him, alive and aware. "Here," the queen said, "we will study compatibility. My hive must understand your kind to create the hybrid. You will guide me, and I will guide you." Alex nodded. He had never imagined that he would be doing something like this. On Earth, or even in the military, nothing had prepared him to collaborate with an alien queen on creating a new species. "Do not fear," the queen added, sensing his hesitation. "This is not coercion. You are a participant, not a subject. Your role is vital, Alex." Alex felt a strange warmth in her words. Somehow, even in this alien environment, he felt respected, valued, needed. It was a sensation he had never known before, and it made him curious about her in ways he didn't yet understand. The first experiment was simple in theory. Alex explained basic human genetics to the queen, showing her how traits passed from parent to child, how adaptation occurred, how resilience could be built into DNA. She absorbed everything with astonishing speed, her mind a sponge for knowledge. "You humans are fascinating," she said finally. You survive through unpredictability, through innovation, through emotion. These qualities, they are rare in the galaxy. Alex smiled, feeling a rush of pride. And yet your hive survives too. Your species is incredible. I've never seen anything like it. The queen paused, her amber eyes glowing softly. Perhaps that is why we are together. Our strengths complement each other. The hive is structured, disciplined, united. Humans are chaotic, unpredictable, individual. Together, we may create something neither of us could alone. As the days passed, Alex and the queen spent more and more time together. Their conversations, or mental exchanges, as it often was, grew longer, more personal. Alex told her about Earth, about human childhood, about dreams and fears. The queen shared her experiences leading the hive, the loneliness of being a ruler, and the burden of guiding millions. "You are not like the others," she admitted one evening as they watched young workers practicing tasks in a glowing chamber. "You feel deeply, you think deeply, you care deeply. That is not common among humans or any species I have observed." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. I guess I just notice things," he said. "I see people, creatures, situations. I care, I can't help it." "You care," she repeated thoughtfully. "That is why I chose you, not only for your body or your genetics, but for your mind, for your heart." Alex swallowed hard. Her words made him feel exposed, but also alive. He had never had anyone see him like that, not a superior, not a comrade, not a friend. The queen saw him in a way that was raw and honest. As the hybrid project progressed, the bond between them deepened. Alex helped the queen design ways to test compatibility, using his knowledge of human biology and intuition. She taught him the intricate patterns of the hive's reproductive process, the careful balance required to avoid mistakes. Together they worked long hours, their minds entwined in the delicate dance of creation. One afternoon, a young Zithurian worker struggled with a complex task, and Alex instinctively stepped forward to assist. His hands guided the creature, showing gentle corrections. The queen watched silently, her glow shifting with subtle shades of approval. "You have compassion," she said softly, "and courage. That combination is rare." Alex felt a small thrill. Her attention, her words, they carried weight. Unlike any praise he had ever received, this recognition felt profound. Not just acknowledgement of his skill, but acknowledgement of his being. That evening, the queen called Alex to a quiet chamber, away from the hum of the hive. She extended her appendage, touching his arm lightly. "You have grown," she said, "not just in knowledge, but in connection with us, with me." Alex's heart raced. He was not sure what to say. The truth was, he felt something he had never expected, an attraction, yes, but more than that. A fascination, a curiosity, a need to understand her as a being, not just as a ruler. You trust me," he said finally. "I do," she replied, "and I wish to understand you fully. Your thoughts, your feelings, your fears, your desires. That is why I chose you, Alex, not only to create life, but to share life." The words hung in the air. Alex felt exposed and exhilarated at once. He had faced death countless times, yet nothing had made him feel as alive as her attention. Days turned into weeks, and their bond continued to grow. Alex found himself anticipating her presence, cherishing the moments when they could work side by side. The queen, in turn, began showing subtle signs of interest, curiosity, and even affection. She would linger near him during experiments, study his expressions, and sometimes simply be near him without words. One day, an accident in the hive forced them to act quickly. A section of the hive's outer structure began to collapse under stress. Workers panicked, their movements frantic but coordinated. Alex and the queen moved together, guiding the workers, reinforcing the structure with tendrils and bioenergy. During the chaos, Alex realized how much he trusted her, not just her power, but her judgment, her ability to lead, and her presence. And he realized something else. He would do anything to protect her. The queen, in turn, acted with precision, relying on Alex's guidance and instincts. Together, they saved dozens of workers, stabilizing the hive section before it was too late. When the danger passed, they stood together, breathing heavily, their minds momentarily connected in quiet relief. Alex glanced at her, noticing the subtle glow of concern in her eyes, the softness in her usually commanding demeanor. "You acted bravely," she said finally, her voice carrying both admiration and something else, something warm, human-like. "You saved them too," Alex replied. "We did it together." The queen considered this. "Together," she repeated, a faint echo of a human smile in her mind. That night, Alex lay in his chamber, thinking about the events of the day. He realized the bond he shared with the queen had grown beyond curiosity or duty. He cared for her. He admired her. He was drawn to her in ways he could not yet name. And somewhere deep inside, he felt something else stirring, a hope. A hope that this bond could grow into something stronger, something that neither he nor the queen had ever experienced before. The Hive Queen had chosen him. But Alex knew now that he was choosing her too, not just as a partner in creation, but as someone he wanted to understand, protect, and perhaps love. As the hive hummed around him, Alex felt a strange sense of belonging. He was no longer just a human soldier. He was part of something larger, something extraordinary. And for the first time in his life, he felt truly alive. The hive had grown accustomed to Alex's presence. Workers moved smoothly around him, their pulses synchronized, their silent communication clear. Even the queen seemed more relaxed, her attention sometimes lingering on him, though she remained as commanding as ever. But not all were pleased. A faction within the hive had begun to whisper, quietly at first, then more boldly. Some of the older, more conservative warriors and advisors feared the human's influence. They saw his compassion, his unpredictability, and the bond he shared with the queen as a threat. "He is not like us," one of the senior advisors hissed to another. "He brings weakness, confusion, emotion. He is dangerous." "Do you not see?" the other replied. "The queen has chosen him. We must follow her will." "But what if she is wrong?" the first insisted. "Humans are unpredictable. They act selfishly." "What if he destroys everything we have built?" The warning spread quietly, hidden in shadows, in whispers carried by the hive's subtle vibrations. But the queen sensed it. She felt the unrest ripple through the hive like a low-frequency tremor. "Alex," she said one morning as they walked through the glowing corridors, "there is unrest. Some within my hive doubt your place here. They fear you." Alex's stomach tightened. "Fear me, but why?" "They do not understand humans," the queen explained. "They see emotion as weakness, unpredictability as danger. They have not learned what I have. They do not see your value." Alex clenched his fists. "So what happens? Do we fight them?" The queen shook her head. "Not yet. We will observe, but be aware they will test you." It wasn't long before the test came. A group of conservative warriors approached Alex while he was inspecting a new chamber designed for hybrid experiments. Their bodies were larger than most workers, their glow darker, their movements sharp and deliberate. "You should not be here," the leader said, his voice vibrating in Alex's mind. "This is not your place, human. Leave or suffer consequences." Alex stood tall, meeting their gaze. "I am here because the queen chose me. I am not a threat to the hive. I want to help, not harm." The leader's glow flickered with anger. "Words are meaningless. You are different. That difference will corrupt the hive. You must leave." Alex's heart raced, but he did not back down. "I will not leave. I am part of this hive now. I may be human, but I am here to strengthen you, not weaken you. If you cannot see that, then you will have to face me." The air vibrated with tension. The warriors hesitated, unsure how to respond to a human who spoke with such confidence in the queen's domain. Alex could feel the hive around him, sensing the unrest. He knew that any mistake could be fatal. Before the situation escalated, the queen appeared. She moved between Alex and the faction, her glow bright and commanding. "Enough," she said, her voice resonating in every mind nearby. "Alex is my chosen partner. His presence is sanctioned. Any aggression toward him will be met with consequences." The leader bowed his head slightly, though the tension in his glow did not fade. "As you command, Queen, but he is not like us. We must watch him." The queen nodded once. "Then watch, but do not interfere unless necessary. Trust in my judgment." Alex exhaled, relief washing over him, but he knew the threat had not ended. The hive would be testing him, questioning him, challenging him, and he had to be ready. Days later, the first true test came. A section of the hive's outer chambers, normally stable, began to collapse due to structural stress. Workers panicked, moving frantically to stabilize the area. Alex rushed to the site, coordinating silently with the queen. "We need to hold the tendrils here and redirect the bioflow," he shouted, his voice steady despite the chaos. The queen mirrored his commands, sending vibrations through the hive to guide the workers. Together, they stabilized the collapsing section, saving dozens of young Zithurians who would have otherwise perished. After the crisis, the queen turned to Alex, her glow soft and warm. "You acted bravely. You saved lives today. You have proven your worth not only to me, but to the hive." Alex felt a swell of pride, but also something deeper. He realized that he had grown attached not only to the queen, but to the hive itself. He had come to care for this strange, glowing civilization, and for the queen who had trusted him enough to let him into her life. But the threat from within the hive was not gone. That evening, whispers reached Alex's mind as he walked through the quieter corridors. "He is not like us, he must be removed." He slowed, focusing, trying to trace the source. The queen appeared silently beside him, her presence calming. "They speak of fear," she said. "They do not understand you. They will challenge you again, but you must not falter, Alex. Trust in yourself and in me." Alex nodded. "I will not fail." A week later, the faction made their move. They ambushed Alex while he was traveling alone through a maintenance corridor. The human's instincts kicked in immediately. He ducked and rolled, narrowly avoiding a strike from one of the larger warriors. "You will not survive here," the leader growled. "Leave now, human, or be destroyed." Alex fought back, relying on human adaptability and quick thinking. He dodged, blocked, and countered, surprising the Zethurians who had underestimated his reflexes. Even the Queen's previous warnings had not prepared them for a human's ability to improvise in battle. As the fight escalated, the Queen arrived. Her presence shifted the hive around them, sending pulses of energy that restrained the attackers without harming them. "Enough," she said, her voice calm but lethal. "Alex is under my protection. You will not harm him." The attackers froze, their glow flickering with fear and anger. "As you command, Queen," the leader said reluctantly, retreating. Alex's chest heaved with exertion, but he felt exhilarated. Not only had he survived, but he had proven, through courage, quick thinking, and human adaptability, that he was more than just a chosen breeder. He was a partner, a protector, and a force the hive could not ignore. After the confrontation, the Queen approached him, her glow shifting to softer shades. She placed her appendage lightly on his shoulder. "You have done well, Alex, not just for yourself, but for the hive. You have shown them that humans are not a threat. You have shown them strength, courage, and value." Alex felt his chest tighten. I couldn't have done it without you. Without your guidance, I would have failed." The Queen's glow pulsed gently. "And yet you did not fail. You adapted, you fought, you survived. That is human strength, and that is why I chose you." For a moment they stood in silence, the hum of the hive surrounding them. Alex realized that their connection had grown far deeper than he had expected. He no longer felt like a visitor in this alien world. He felt like a part of it and a part of her. Over the next few days, the hybrid project continued, but Alex noticed subtle changes in the hive. The conservative faction had not disappeared, but they were quieter, hesitant, their movements more cautious. Alex could sense respect, reluctant, wary, but respect nonetheless. He and the Queen spent more private moments together. They discussed strategies, biology, and the future of the hybrid race, but also dreams, fears, and shared experiences. Alex found himself drawn to her in ways he could not yet name, fascination, admiration, and something deeper, stirring quietly in his chest. "You are different from any being I have known," the Queen admitted one night as they rested in a quiet chamber. "You think like a human, act like a human, feel like a human, and yet you survive here in ways I never imagined." Alex smiled faintly. "I could say the same about you. You're incredible, strong, wise, and something I can't fully describe." Her glow softened, almost like a human smile. "Perhaps that is why we are together, Alex. Perhaps this bond between human and hive was always meant to grow." Alex felt his heart race. He did not know what the future held, but he knew one thing. The bond between him and the Queen had grown stronger than ever. And no internal threat, no conservative faction, could undo the connection they had forged through courage, trust, and understanding. That night, as he lay in his chamber, Alex thought about everything that had happened. The threat from within the hive had tested him, pushed him to his limits, and shown him the strength of his own species. The Queen had trusted him, guided him, and seen the value in what he could bring to her people. And somewhere deep in his chest, Alex realized the truth. He did not just respect the Hive Queen. He cared for her. He admired her. And though he did not yet fully understand it, he felt the first stirrings of something far more powerful, something that might one day become love. The Hive Queen had chosen him. And now Alex understood that he had chosen her in return, not only as a partner in creation, but as someone who had captured his mind, his respect, and perhaps his heart. The hive hummed around him, alive and aware. And for the first time, Alex felt completely at home.